the glimpse of some of the glimpses of the glorious past on today, on this very day, January 12th, in history, in the history of Kailasa. So on this very day in 2003, here are some of the glimpses from the inauguration of the Adi Kailashas of Vaikuntha that were published in the media houses, and where they shared about the delegates who attended this event, including the chief minister and many other esteemed guests that attended this event. Here you can see the publication of this article, and it's where the Supreme Pontificalism is featured. On the 12th of January 2007, the Kailasa celebrated the birth star celebrations of the young avatar for the 30th Jayanti Brahmotsavam. And here you can see, just in this video, we'll be watching just a glimpse of all of the grand celebrations in Tirunelveli, the very birthplace of the Supreme Pontificalism, where the entire city of Tirunelveli received the Supreme Pontificalism and celebrated the 30th Jayanti celebrations of the young avatar. So let us watch a small glimpse of this.
Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham
गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै गुरुवे नमो नमः। गुरुवे सर्वविद्यानां हृदये सर्वभूतानां श्री दक्षिणामूर्ति गुरुवे नमो नमः। ओम आत्मतत्वाय स्वाहा, ओम विद्यातत्वाय स्वाहा, ओम शिवतत्वाय स्वाहा। यजमानस्य शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं सुवर्णवर्णं तागे सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये स्वाभ्यां शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते अद्य ब्रह्मणां उदे वरदखण्डे हेरोः दक्षिणे पादे शकाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने अपीतभुजाम्बिका समेत अरुणाचले दुरत्वामदे नमः। आयुर्भावुण्डभालनामधेयस्य अस्य यजमानस्य अनुग्रहमूर्ते नमः। पुण्यावाचन जपकर्मणे नमः। यजमानस्य शिवाचार्यमानकरिष्ये।
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
அதுக்கு நம்ம 4 லட்சம் நாள் வாங்கலாம். இந்த வைப்ரேஷன் மூலமா இந்த ப்ரொடக்ஷன் இன்னும் ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கு. ரொம்ப நல்லது சாமி, ரொம்ப ஆனந்தம். ரொம்ப சொல்லுங்க.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Paramashivoham.
So on this very day in 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Kailasa, and all thousands of devotees and disciples from all over the world celebrated the 30th Jayanti celebrations in 30 countries. And this was the birth star celebrations that were, as always, were celebrated in Tirunelveli, the very birthplace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and spiritual nerve center of the world. And every year, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is received in the Arunachala temple, as we just saw, and with a great joy, reverence, and special offerings are made by the chief priest of the temple to the deities. And you've seen some of the footage from this. Now let's look at a few of these pictures. You can see how many thousands of people were gathered from all over the world in order to celebrate the happening of the Avatar, 30 years since the happening of the Pontiff of Hinduism, of course, also blessed all the devotees and disciples on this day in Vaikuntha, sitting on Vaikuntha, the very rock where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had his very first enlightenment experience. And you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blessing the people. So now let's look at 2008 and the happenings on this very day, 2008. This was the day that on January 12th, the Nithyananda Yoga Teachers Training began. And this was a 12-day retreat where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted daily meditations, daily yoga sessions, and the participants practiced the ancient Vedic rituals and were able to partake in pure sattvic Ayurvedic food. On this day also, the Maheshwara Puja was offered. And here you can see the sannyasis of the Nithyananda order sitting for the ritual. Now let us look at the happenings on this very day in 2009. This marked the inauguration of the Kodikanda Yatra in Kanyakumari. And you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism inaugurating this most special, most auspicious yatra, where thousands and thousands of people were blessed with the vision of both the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari. And this yatra was a sight to be seen and saw the revival of Hinduism across Tamil Nadu, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself traversed on foot across Tamil Nadu and literally reinvigorated the spirit of Hinduism in the hearts of thousands and thousands of people across the state. And this very day marks the very beginning of this most special, most auspicious Gaurikanda Yatra. And in this day, in 2010, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, of course, had many activities. A typical day in the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is always packed with activities like training Adinavasis, house visits, LBE sessions, and much more. Here you can see all of these activities. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously making himself available for the people. And on this date in 2011, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began this discourse, a discourse on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And this was the time where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was revealing the great sacred secrets from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed about the word asana, which is in modern day is roughly translated as posture. However, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed, I want to translate this as tuning yourself to the cosmos. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed sthira and sukha. The way in which you tune yourself to the cosmos should be stable, sturdy, and comfortable for you. There are thousands of ways to tune yourself to the cosmos. For every act, you have a particular posture. If you lie down in a relaxed way and try to shout at someone, it won't work. The posture, your consciousness, and action, all three are connected closely. By lying down, you cannot shout at someone, and by standing up, you cannot sleep. Change in body posture brings the change in your consciousness. Many have started disrespecting the body as though the body is a villain. The body is the victim of you. You go on abusing the body continuously for your enjoyment. You take the body to the extreme. Your body is the mirror. The light coming to the mirror is the cosmic light. You need to align the mirror to a certain posture when the cosmic light reflects itself without distortion or deflection. That tuning is asana. So here are the sacred secrets revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on this very day in 2011 from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. These groundbreaking revelations define what we understand in modern day as yoga or asanas. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in 2012 on this very day revealed the sacred secrets from the Bhagavad Gita on Karma Yoga from Bhagavad Gita chapter 3. Of course, the day began with the visit to the temple. As always for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the day always begins with the morning puja and of course the darshan of Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari and the banyan tree. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism offering his respects and reverence to the banyan tree. And you can see throughout the years how many sacred revelations the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been making, how many groundbreaking truths the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been making on each day. In 2011, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed about the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. 2012, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been revealing about Bhagavad Gita. Each of these days, you can also see how many activities, how many contributions the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was making, whether offering darshans, satsangs, discourses, training Adi Navasis, doing courses, discourses, Nithyananda Yoga teachers training, offering Maheshwara Puja, so many activities the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This is just a small glimpse of that day, of this day throughout history. You can imagine how much the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been doing each and every day, contributing relentlessly to humanity, making himself available continuously for the people. And on this day in 2013, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the NDY sessions for participants across the globe and revealed the sacred secrets of death and the special kriya to awaken the Naval Center. You can also see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting Dayali Avatar, blessing the people across the globe who are able to connect with him via Dayali Avatar. And of course, on this day in 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was in Haridwar conducting the Inner Awakening program. And on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed the science of Kalpataru Darshan and the science of initiating us into possibility, infusing us with the ability to cause our own reality. This science is open and available to each and every one of us. And by continuously completing with our pattern of self-doubt, self-hatred, and self-denial, we will be able to live this science and teach it to others and be established in the understanding of enlightenment. So this science, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has been continuously making available to people through the Kalpataru Darshans, the Kalpataru program. And most recently, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has once again made this available online for everyone. And you can stay tuned and stay connected, stay in touch with us through all the various social media platforms so you can find out about the next Kalpataru Darshan that will be given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Kalpataru program, and the Kalpataru Darshan, which will be conducted online for each and every one of you to experience this sacred science. So on this day also, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visited the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Agalakara, Sukdeva Ji's ashram. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visiting the Agalakara. And on this day also, Ramananda Ji visited the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Haridwar. And here you can see this visit. Now let us have a glimpse of January 12th in 2015, on this very day in 2015.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरु
शान्तिस्यान् अग्ना विष्णु चक्षुस्तमे श्रोत्रन्तमे दक्षस्तमे वरन्तमोजस्तमे सहस्तमायुस्तमे जगतमात्पातमे
Just past the stroke of midnight here at the Bangalore Ashram on the 11th of January 2015 as part of the birth star celebrations of our beloved Swamiji. The non-stop 72 hours of chanting of Shivoham has just started at the Nithyanandeshwara temple. The energy here is electrifying. Devotees are joining in increasing numbers for this wonderful experience of Shivoham. Nithyanandam.
On this day in 2015, the world celebrated the Atiruttara Mahayaga in Kailasa, where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was officially coronated, recognized by leaders of Hinduism, over 1,000 leaders of Hinduism, as the very incarnation of Paramashiva, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. The Atiruttara Mahayaga was performed for this very special inauguration, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was recognized all across the globe by new leaders. And the Atiruttara Mahayaga was a 1,008 homas that were performed for this very special occasion. Now, on this day in 2016, this was the auspicious occasion of Swami Vivekananda's Jayanti, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principles of seeking during the live satsangs, and his talk formed part of a series on the Ishavasya Upanishad and the revelations from the Ishavasya Upanishad. In this talk, titled Ferocious Seeking, the Essence and Only Priority of Life, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully summarized the essence of the 15 mantras in the Ishavasya Upanishad, revealing that the essence of this primordial first Upanishad is ferocious, intense seeking, which is the only priority for a human being. He explained further that it is this intense seeking that will burn away and destroy everything that is not you, your patterns, your impurities, your boredom, your tiredness, and limited perceptions. And here are the photos from that day, from the live satsang, the live discourse. So now let us
Hello, I'm Sri Nithyananda, and this is the Balasan from the Gurukul. This is Shivatma, and I've been in the courtyard, and I've been deep in the Shaktini Pada.
Shakti Sagaram Chakra
स्वरूप नित्यानन्द धन्वन्तरये नित्यानन्द दीनोद्धरण नित्यानन्द दिव्य स्वरूप नित्यानन्द ज्ञानप्रदाता नित्यानन्द जीवन्मुक्तिदाता नित्यानन्द.
Later in the evening, some culturals were performed in order to celebrate Arudha Darshan.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes, so that was just a glimpse of 2017. Now let us look at what Supreme Pontificalism was doing in 2018 on this very day. The Supreme Pontificalism is the visionary through whom this whole revival of Kailasa is made possible. And on this day, the autobiography of the Avatar presented a glimpse of his divine of Supreme Pontificalism's life celebrated over the years. The Nithyananda Yoga, the revival of the original authentic yoga practice that Paramashiva taught directly to Devi was practiced at the Adinam. And the delegates of the Nithyananda Yoga Teachers Training Program were introduced to the practice of Shaktis and began manifesting powers. And the announcements were made for the upcoming programs and shared with all globally via Nithyananda TV and the various social media platforms for Nitya Kriya Yoga, Nithyanandam, and the Mahashivaratri celebrations in Inner Awakening, Kalpataru, and Mahasadashi. So here we can just have a small glimpse of the happenings on January 12th, 2018.
Early morning, Nithyananda Yoga was conducted. The new sequence of 108 asanas was practiced while listening to the Sanskrit mantras which were associated to each asana. Nithyananda Yoga is the revival of the original authentic practice of yoga that Sadashiva taught to Devi. The participants of the Nithyananda Yoga teacher training, were introduced into manifesting Shaktis. They sat in pairs and started to manifest and open up the space of possibility within them.
January 12th, 2018. And now let's look at 2019, where the Supreme Quantum Evolution expounded on the cosmic principles of the Samrajya Lakshmi Vedika. During the everyday live satsang, the Supreme Quantum Evolution expounded on how a Hindu nation, an enlightened civilization, should exist as Paramashiva. He explained how city planning should be done and how wars are waged, how the forts should be built, the roles of the royalty, the constitution, daily routines and pujas, the setup of institutions for relief work, daily exercises, and all other aspects of society, which are prescribed in the Akashic Tantra and the foundation for all of the work of Kailasa. So the Supreme Quantum Evolution revealed all about the Samrajya Lakshmi Vedika on this date in 2019. In 2020, the Supreme Quantum Evolution expounded on the cosmic principles of multi-dimensions of the universe during the live satsang. And in this talk, the Supreme Quantum Evolution revealed that in order for a man to understand anything beyond binary logic, man needs to mature the way he exists. He shared that by simply grasping the multi-dimensional truths, one will start manifesting powers, and nothing can destroy a person if he just understands these principles. And Supreme Quantum Evolution explained that the real heroism is Paramashanta Swarupa. And on this day in 2020, the Supreme Quantum Evolution again conducted a live satsang, delivering the sacred secrets from Kailasa. And on this day in 2021, just last year, the Supreme Quantum Evolution performed the Maheshwara Puja. The Maheshwara Puja was offered to the Supreme Quantum Evolution, and the Supreme Quantum Evolution again liberated thousands of beings, millions of beings across the globe during this time of crisis, during the pandemic in 2021. So now this was just a very small glimpse of happenings in Kailasa and the light of the Supreme Pontiff of Feminism over the last 27 years, just a glimpse of the glorious past over the last 27 years. So now with this, we will be entering into, now we've seen just a small portion of the Supreme Pontiff of Feminism's immense contributions to humanity just on this very day, on January 12th throughout the years. Now let us understand one of the greatest contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Feminism to humanity, the science of power manifestation. We will be entering into the live demonstration of the extraordinary Shaktis, the extraordinary powers as demonstrated by the Nithyananda Gurukul Balasans, the Nithyananda Yogis, and the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Feminism. We're entering into this segment after a very quick break.
Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava.